Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Charlie, I'm the book review guy, and this time we will be talking about one amazing book. It is also one of my favorites. It is called The Fred Factor, and it has so many aha moments that I know you will find lots of value by reading it. This book was written by Mark Sanborn. We'll talk a little bit more about him further on. I don't want to keep you from reading this book. That is why the format of this video is not a book report, but rather a book review, where as always, I hope to give you a strong idea of what this book is about and some more information where the book has been of great value for me or for somebody I know, either from a book club, from work, or from my family. Also, I need to ask you a small favor. Please take a second for pushing the button of liking and subscribe. It helps me a lot to keep this project continuing. So, stay tuned and buckle up while we explore The Fred Factor. Welcome back. Today we're talking about The Fred Factor, written by Mark Sanborn. So let's start talking about the author. Mark Sanborn was born in the United States and is best known for being a professional speaker delivering presentations and workshops to different organizations across the globe to improve management, leadership skills, improve customer service, and achieve personal development throughout the teams that he has coached. Mark has had great success doing so. Lots of learnings along the way, learnings that you can find throughout his material. He's also an entrepreneur and a best-selling author. Mark has been named one of the top 25 speakers in the world, being inducted into the Speakers Hall of Fame, among other recognitions. I mean, that's huge. Mark graduated cum laude from the University of Ohio and has written many other books. Some of them include Team Building, You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader, The Anchor Effect, and his latest, Fred 2.0, just to name a few. Mark, with his 4 decades of experience, certainly has the credentials to be talking with ownership about the content of this book. I feel really good recommending this book. More to come. I love this section, so let's get started sharing an overview of this amazing book and 2 or 3 golden nuggets along the way. This book centers around Fred, the mailman, a friendly mailman who always went out of his way to make the best version of himself, making his ordinary job extraordinary. After meeting Mark and finding out that his job made him travel over 200 days out of the year, he offered to hold his mail to avoid signaling potential robbers that he was away from home. There are 4 principles that Mark learned from Fred. The first one, everybody makes difference. The second one, everything is built on relationships. The third, you must continually create value. And the fourth, you can always reinvent yourself. These are 4 amazing concepts once you get to understand them. These principles serve as guiding pillars for personal and professional growth, reminding individuals that their actions and choices shape the impact they have on others. A few weeks after Fred and Mark met, Fred found a package sent through Mark to someone else's porch. It had been misdelivered to a different house by another company. Fred found it and brought the package and concealed it from any potential robbers, leaving a note under the mat in the entrance of Mark's house. It is through this character or person by the name of Fred, which by the way, he's a living and breathing individual, he does exist, that we understand what the author means by being a Fred. A Fred is a person that goes above and beyond to do his or her work or job just for the joy of doing a great job. I think we've heard in our previous books about going above and beyond. It's a key word. The author talks about the main enemy being mediocrity, and I couldn't agree more. Mediocrity is doing the least amount possible for the job, not caring if the work is excellent or not. It is just enough. The author argues that Freds are what makes our experiences better in any company. It can truly make our day if we have an encounter with a real live Fred in the flesh. This book mainly explores how every job should create value and how anybody can become afraid by doing so. How to be afraid by creating a habit of going above and beyond in our jobs and in our personal lives, which as a natural consequence creates great success in all kinds of relationships. How to find or spot and develop other threats is an organizational level used acronym, which Mark calls the FRED acronym. which is find, reward, educate, and demonstrate. It is important for the sake of understanding the objective of this book to be able to describe a Fred as somebody who loves his or her job and knows the importance of doing it right and having a customer have a great experience. A Fred is not excelling at his or her job just for the pay or for the crush it competition. He or she just wants to provide a better experience, and by doing so creates a better experience for him or for her. The Fred factor underscores the importance of taking responsibility for one's own success and happiness. It encourages individuals to shift their mindset from being victims of a circumstance to taking ownership of their choices and actions. By recognizing that they have the power to shift their reality, readers are empowered to overcome challenges, embrace growth, and reach their full potential. Are you ready to reach your full potential? Sanborn emphasizes the significance of creating extraordinary experiences for others. By delivering unexpected moments of delight, Fred leaves a lasting impression and builds strong relationships based on trust and loyalty. The book highlights the value of personalizing interactions, exceeding expectations, and finding innovative ways to make a positive impact. The Fred factor stresses the vital role of relationships in personal and professional success. It encourages readers to invest time and effort into building meaningful connections with colleagues, with customers and acquaintances. Through a genuine care, empathy, and active listening, individuals can cultivate trust, loyalty, and collaborative partnerships that foster growth and success. Sanborn also emphasizes the need for continuous improvement and growth. He encourages readers to adopt a mindset of lifelong learning and embrace change as an opportunity for personal and professional development. The book highlights the importance of seeking feedback, embracing new challenges, and staying curious to expand one's skills and knowledge. You can achieve all of this by taking initiative and going the extra mile. Freds are proactive, seeking an opportunity to contribute and add value in their daily work. By taking ownership of their responsibilities and finding ways to improve processes, individuals can differentiate themselves and make a lasting impact in others, as well as themselves. This book underscores the role of leadership in fostering a culture of excellence. He highlights that leaders are not solely defined by their titles, but by their ability to inspire and motivate and empower others. The book explores the characteristics of behaving that exemplary leader processes that provides values and insights for individuals aspiring to lead and influence others. Most definitely, the Fred factor is a call to action for individuals to make a difference in their personal and professional sphere. It emphasizes that small acts of kindness and excellence can create a ripple effect that transforms individuals, transforms teams, and can transform a whole organization. By embracing the Fred philosophy, readers are encouraged to become catalysts for a positive change as well as leaving a lasting legacy through their actions. In conclusion, The Fred Factor by Mark Sanborn offers an abundance of wisdom and practical advice that transcends industries and roles. It is truly an inspirational book, and it goes hand in hand with our previous reads that we have done in the past, such as Be Our Guest and Humble Inquiry. So you can see the thread of what it means to lead, motivate, inspire, create, to name a few characteristics of what this amazing book has to offer, but from people with a proven track record. There is so much more for this book, but I really don't want to spoil it. As always, stay tuned. Okay, I love this part. This is where we land some of our previous ideas so that we can understand how they work in an everyday setting that we can relate to. Also, I get to share with you some of my real life examples of when I have used this book's concepts, even though I had not read the book nor it had been written. Today, I have 2 examples I will share with you, one of them with my family and one of them regarding work. First of all, I'll share the work-related one. This one happened a couple of years back in 1998. I was a server in an Italian restaurant chain in Mexico City. I was shadowing an experienced server because I had just been promoted for being a runner, which made me very happy. This server was annoyed because every single day there would be a couple that would come in at 7 in the morning and ask for 2 coffees and 2 pastries. What annoyed the server was that every single time after getting their order, the guests would ask for extra honey and powdered cinnamon. Their average check was always around $25. This included the pastries. I saw this happen day after day, how he gave them attitude and still the guest kept coming back. He was clearly not afraid. I remember I told him I will service this guest today. I had not even finished my training, nonetheless I knew better. There was something in me that told me how this couple needed to be treated. Not just because they were repeating guests, but because they were human beings that deserve respect. They were always kind, they were always courteous, they always said please, they will always say thank you. Why wouldn't we treat them better? So what I did was, from the moment I saw them coming through the door, I captured the order in the system so that it would come out super fast. Next, I dropped extra honey and extra cinnamon in the table by the window. The table was their favorite table. I was there to greet them with a big smile as the hostess brought them and dropped the menu. I remember the first thing one of them said, "You see, now that they know us, they have your cinnamon and your extra honey." They were very happy. As they were prepared to order, I told them that I had expedited the regular order and it was on their way. Second cause for smiles. They went on their daily routine, and when they asked for the check, I brought it thanking them for their visit and asking them to come back. After I did this, I told them that even though I knew they loved our pastries, the next day there would be an Eggs Benedict special. And that perhaps they would like to try something different. In my mind, I was also thinking of increasing their average check. They were very thankful and left. That day, I got a better tip than my coworker usually got, which made me very happy. Additionally, I learned a little bit about suggestive selling along the way. But what really amazed me was that the next day they did order the Eggs Benedict special, and the check went from $25 to $43, increasing my tip along the way and the check average from then on. The cherry on the cake was that my coworker saw what I did and then copied me the next day. Not just with that table, but with many others. In the end, my coworker was not a bad person. He just didn't know any better, and no one had ever coached him before, which unconsciously I did. The second example I will share is a personal one with my family. A couple of years back, I really wanted to visit one of Danny Meyer's restaurants, the Union Square Cafe. I had just arrived to New York, and having worked in the restaurant for so many years, I wanted to visit the restaurant of the person who literally wrote one of the most important books on hospitality in the industry, Setting the Table. I still didn't know how the reservation system worked in New York, and explained this to the hostess, who was super accommodating. Seeing my excitement and my family's, who were all lined up behind me, she asked me to wait for a moment and see if she could work her magic. And after a few minutes, she called me and said that she had an opening, and I felt so relieved. It was one of my kids' birthdays, and I told her this as I was getting through the table. From then on, it was like a ballet synchronized to perfection. There wasn't an instance where I raised my eyes and someone would ask me if I needed anything. Everybody was super accommodating and friendly. That feeling that you get when you are like visiting your relative's house. That's what I felt. I felt cared for, and not like for the tip, but like family. They brought a cake to celebrate my son, and it was just amazing. My wife was so happy, and my kids ended up naming that spot one of their favorites. I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember what I ate, but I would be back in a heartbeat, as I have done many times since, just because how they made me feel. That day, that team went above and beyond for me and my family. Funny thing is, life crossed our paths. And after a couple of years, I have been able to meet Danny Meyer multiple times, and I consider him a mentor, although I don't think he knows it yet. Danny Meyer is a true embodiment of a Fred, who is able to spot, develop and promote Freds, and he has done it multiple times over and over along the years. And now he has created a full organization that does that, upholding his legacy. Like Fred, Danny Meyer emphasizes the importance of passion, commitment, and going above and beyond to create exceptional experiences for customers. He encourages his employees to embrace the values and hospitality and to approach their work with a genuine desire to make a positive impact on people's lives. And he nails it. Always. I truly believe that if anyone wants to see the embodiment of a Fred, they can visit one of Danny's restaurants in New York, such as the Gramercy Tavern, Mayalino, Union Square Cafe, just to name a few. We're going above and beyond is the name of the game. Danny Meyer's approach to hospitality may share similarities with principles discussed in the Fred Factor. Although it's important to note that the book does not mention Danny at all, or his book. Regardless, he and his team are some of the first that pop into my mind when I think about a real life Fred. More to come. Welcome to the reflection section. These are some of the concepts that I keep thinking about and apply continuously. First of all, I love how, as a concept, we can, as an organization or as regular human beings, become Fred magnets. By making our areas our Fred oasis, we can discover dormant Freds, which at the end means discovering talent. Second, I love the quote by Dale Carnegie shared in this book. No man can become rich without himself enriching others. We might be a Fred looking for other Freds. If you are that magnet, you have the responsibility to find, motivate, and develop the next generation of Freds that will change the company forever. They will also change your life and have the potential for changing the world, but it's our responsibility. The third, I love the crash course of adding value shared in this book. There are 10 points, but 4 stood out for me. The first one, telling the truth. Second, adding the good stuff. There are some golden nuggets in there for sure. Third, solving problems you didn't create. Oh my god, this is incredible. Yeah, this happens all the time. But the fact that you can be that person that jumps into that situation and solve a problem that you didn't create just puts you in the spotlight, believe me. They'll look for you next time there's a problems. And the fourth, simplifying. Oh my god. Sometimes it would appear we add instead of taking away. I try to live this principle that less is more by adding quality work rather than putting trash. This is definitely one of the books that will make you stronger, will make you happier, and definitely make you better. The key takeaways and scoring for this book. Overall, my takeaways for this book are: first, reading this book makes you aware of endless possibilities of being and finding Freds and its benefits to your work and to your life. Second, I believe that by being a Fred, you will be happier and make others happy too along the way. Third, I recommend that you read this book and start applying the concepts immediately if you want a big change in your organization and in your life. My scoring for this book is 5 light bulbs, meaning true enlightenment. It is an amazing read. You have to read it. Thank you, Mark Sanborn, for this amazing book. Truly a life-changing read that will shift the way you see service, and a true hospitalitarian when you spot one. Remember, spot the Fred. Please tell me if you read this book and what you thought of it in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions, please let me know there. I read them all. Remember, friends, as always, you can find the link to buy this book below in bookshop.org or in Amazon Bookstore. I 100% recommend it. Don't miss out. Our next book will be The Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande, an amazing read that has helped me a lot, and also many other organizations achieved great things. And as always, my friends, I remind you, be kind to each other. Until the next time, thank you very much.